Welcome to the Beer N Bulldogs. We're here to celebrate the American Pit Bull Terrier through history, responsible ownership, and appreciation. All discussions are for legal, ethical, historical, and educational purposes. No illegal activities ever. We stand firmly against animal cruelty and dogfighting, both of which violate the Animal Welfare Act of 1976. Let's keep it positive and give these amazing dogs the respect they deserve. Cheers!
About to go down, so who's gonna be my dogs? Cause I'm about to break some laws. I ain't supposed to get in any trouble again. If I do, they gonna put me back in the pen. But you like to dodge my calls, so I'm about to break your jaw. I ain't scared of doing time, it ain't even on my mind at all. So who's gonna feed my dog?
Hey, Bakari.
Talk to me, my brother.
All right, man. What's been up with you, man? How you been?
Oh, man, I can't do no complaining, my brother. Happy to be around and happy to be here on your show, man. Glad you asked me to come up here.
Oh, man, I'm honored, man. Well, I got some questions for you.
Shoot 'em, my brother. You done already had two of my other good brothers up here, and that being Brother Garcia, my main partner, Brother Foster, man. So I'm ready to go.
All right, well, Bakari, when did you get your first American Pit Bull Terrier, and how old were you? Bakari?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So you want me? I thought it was more to your question. Okay. Well, I got my first pit bull terrier in 1988. More or less like the end of almost 1988. And that was after I had a pet bull.
Okay.
I got a pit bull that I wasn't thinking about getting an American pit bull in terms of being in any type of fighting with them. It's just that a partner of mine and I had brought two pit bulls out of the paper, and a college partner of his came by and had a real pit bull, and his pit bull bullied both of ours. So I didn't like that. So I asked him what type of dog did he have. He said he had a Chinaman bred pit bull. I didn't know what a Chinaman and any other thing was, but what I did is end up giving mines away and looked in the paper and seen something that says cinnamon boomerang. And I thought that person might have met Chinaman. And exactly that's what he meant. So that's when I got my first one at the end of 1988.
Well, I'm going to guess that you may have had other dogs before you got even your pet bull. And I mean, I just want to know what got you interested in the American Pit Bull Terrier over any other breed of dogs?
Oh, yeah, I was raised up with Dobermans and Rottweilers. So I was raised up with them since I was 6 years old. But, I used to see the pit bulls on the corner. All of the young guys had them, and they were running around fighting them against all of the other Rottweilers and Dobermans and other pit bulls growing up. I never really looked at it, but, you always kind of want to walk, even though I walked the Rottweiler or Doberman, you kind of always want to think you were walking the baddest dog in the neighborhood, only to know that if one of those pit bulls was to jump on you, dog, and you know that you were going to lose. So, but I never had looked at it that way. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it just took me to that guy coming with his, as we call game dog bred pit bull, to make me not want nothing else after that. So again, I like all dogs. Yeah. I'm a dog lover at heart. But after you see the courage and the heart that they display and it's no animal on the planet, and I mean not just dogs, animals, period, that has the type of heart they have. So even though I've been retired since the mid-90s, I wouldn't really want to own anything other than a game bulldog, even if I'm not fighting them no more or breeding them to fight. I still breed these dogs today to keep the same heart there, even though I'm not wanting anybody to use them for any illegal purposes. But still, any of those who hunt, I don't want nobody to go coyote hunting or wild boar hunting or coon hunting and talk about, man, one of your pit bulls you bred ran off.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So,
yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, could you tell us about, when you got your not the pet bull, but when you got your first American Pit Bull Terrier, what was he or she like?
Okay, well, I got two that day. When I first I went to the place and the guy sold me two of them. Got two brothers. At the same time, I was looking in the paper and I seen somebody had a dog, a Giroux dog. I didn't know what that was, but I said, oh, I'll grab one of those, and I grabbed that. And so the Giroux dog was a little female. But when I brought the other Chinaman Boomerang dog, it was a Chinaman Boomerang cross. When I brought those two puppies, they accidentally killed my little female, not trying to, but it was just playing too rough with her. And I end up going back to the guy, and I ended up getting the littermate sister, which I used as one of my brood dogs. And like I said, the other two that I get, one of them, I ended up beating the Jersey boys with in 19 minutes from that dog I got. That's the day that I got into the dogs. So yeah, that one of those that dog also ended up going 3 hours and some change against Gravedigger that Parker Seals had back then.
Damn. Well, like when you were getting into to that world, who were some of the dogmen that inspired you when you were getting in that world?
Well, I wasn't inspired by anybody at the time because I really didn't know that I was going to go on to become who I did. At the time when I got the dog, it was just basically, well, I tell you, let me backtrack. So when I go pick the dog up,
right,
the guy asked me what was I looking for. I said, I'm just looking for something that's not a pet bull because somebody just beat on my pet bulls with a pit bull. And it was just merely just so that if his friend come around again with his dog, that we wasn't just going to have dogs in the house just get their ass kicked. That was all it was for. He then said to me after we got those dogs, the next day to make sure we weren't the police, he wanted to show up at my house. So we come to the house, he see that I wasn't the police, and he said, look, man, I sent you two little puppies, but if you really was serious about wanting to make some money and have fun with this thing and go out and really compete into other good dog guys, man, I got a couple of good older dogs at the house. And I can show you the game. And by me coming from playing football for so long and being very competitive, then it was like, sound interesting. And I said, well, I don't mind. I said, so I was more or less intrigued, but it wasn't like I was inspired.
Yeah.
At the time, it was just more or less like I kind of like fell into this shit. You know what I mean? So when he took me, we went back to his house the next day. I brought Tyrone's littermate sister, Stomp, and one of his half brothers named Bo. So I get those two dogs, and then I said, okay, so where do I go from here? He said, well, now what I'm going to do is set up in another week a role for you, but I need you to get acclimated with the dogs, pet them and let them, so they know who you are. And then in a week or two, we're going to go and we're going to look at them. I never looked at either one of them, he said. I said, okay. So at the time, Tyrone's sister was a year old and his half brother was a year old. They was both right at 12, 13 months old. And so he said, I'm a roll. So again, so he comes and picks me up. He takes me to, we come there and I see all, like about 6, 7 guys at this place, and they all had dogs. And I seen the pit set up. So, he introduced me to the guys, and he let them know that I wasn't the police. And guy is, he's interested in getting into them. I sold him these dogs. He want to look at them.
Yeah.
So guy said, okay, how much is he paying? He told me, so I got one. He pulled out the kennel crate, ran mine out the kennel crate, and I was messed up from there. They scratched in the middle. I broke his leg in half. I said, what in the hell did I just see? And when he broke the dog leg in half on a scratch, the guy said, man, get him off. Get him off. I just want to see if mine had come across. So they broke him. I'm on the outside. I don't know about the handling. So the guy who I brought from, he was inside there in the walls. And he broke it. And he was screaming. Mine was screaming. And so was the other one to go. So I'm like, wait a minute. That dog just got his leg broke and it's screaming to go back. And he let it go. And it made a scratch with one leg fumbling, tumbling. So they broke it.
Right.
All right. So the guys around there said, yo, man, you getting into the game with a pretty nice one. That's a pretty nice male you got. I said, oh, okay. So they, I'm happy. I'm petting them. They put them up and we bring the females. I almost had, Little May's sister. They said, well, this bitch is 2 years old. We normally like to put a bitch on her that's probably about 16 months or whatever since she's a year old, but this bitch is 2. And so I don't care. I mean, I don't know nothing about how long to look at him, whatever. And the guy said, well, we'll just see how it goes. If the dog too much for the pup, we'll break it. Fine. Both of them get let go. They both hit in the center. We go right into the chest. We go right in there deep. His dog start hollering after 3 minutes. And then we shoot to the stifle and curl out in 6.
Mm-hmm.
And dude's like, damn, you got 2 good damn dogs. Why you ain't let us know you had them, to the guy I brought them from. So I go home happy as hell. Now I just went home with 2 dogs. Now I think, this first time I had some dogs that whip some ass, because the other one I had got his ass whipped. So now there's a little bit on the other end of that. That's what got my juices flowing. So the guys that were there were very nice to me and they all gave me their numbers. So from that, I got interested. Now the inspiration will come a little later, if you will call that, but it was more or less intrigue. And then, and from there I met the guys and, and it went from there. But that was the start of it. So once I seen that, then it became like crack, got habit for me. And every time he said we were to look at him, I couldn't wait, to see what I was going to see on the next rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say for my audience out there that this is all for historical and entertainment purposes. Bakari has been out of the game, retired from that world since probably the 90s. And I mean, I think if he wanted to tell you, he paid his costs to be the boss in that type of situation. That's why he can talk about these things today.
Oh yeah.
I do want to say, so the name Only in America Kennels, it's strong and it makes a statement, Bakari. But I wanted to know, what was your meaning behind it and what does it represent to you?
Well, the reason I named it is because I had liked the Dying King thing, and he was always the promoter of fights.
Right.
So I took it that I'll be promoting my fights, and I just said I'm going to be the Dying King, so I'm going to be the boss of my own situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that was inspired from Dying King and Only in America, Rocky and James Brown singing up there. I took that and used that for my kennel hookup. So that's where the Only in America Kennels came from.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to state it again for everybody that, you've been retired from that world since I think like the mid 90s or so.
Correct. Right.
But your name still carries a lot of respect in the game, Bakari. Do you ever miss it? Do you ever feel like you left it all behind at the right time?
Well, it wasn't that I would leave it behind. I mean, but it was basically getting caught up with the dogs. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't never a thing of wanting to leave, and you never actually want to leave. The only reason that I can say that I really wouldn't be wanting to do it is just for legality purposes. In terms of the dog thing, of course, my heart and stuff is still love certain things that I was a part of.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't go away. So no, it was more or less that part of it. I just felt like, you sometimes have to weigh and say, well, of course, people that's not truly was into dogs or whatever, they could never really understand it because it's always going to look like some savage sport, and it is some savage things that have been done with these dogs that I don't even agree with, and certain things that I've done myself that I wish that I had done differently. You know what I mean? So no, but my heart still is a lot into loving them because that's what they love to do. Now,
Yes.
of course, the only thing I do today is just channel their prey drive into actually hunting animals.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Well, I appreciate your honesty on that,
Right.
So I was looking through some PEDs recently, and I came across one of your old dogs. It was like an 18, I mean, no, I say 18, an 8-time winner. And I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I know he made some noise.
Grand champion Flop Flop.
Okay.
Yeah. 8-time winner, 5-time best of show.
Could you tell us a little bit about him?
Sure. I had a male and a female I have gave to a buddy of mine. And he really wasn't a dog man. He was more or less just a buddy of mine. And I gave him 2 dogs. He raised them up, and the female ended up stopping to a daughter of Big Casey. And I told him that she went like 40 minutes on a roll. And I said, hey, man, you don't need to get put down, brother. I'll give you something else. He didn't understand what that meant. What you mean put down? You know what I mean? Because he really wasn't a dog guy. Yeah. I said, well, I said, well, put her down or give her away, but you're not going to keep her. I said, I'll give you something else that hopefully be game, but no. So he was like, well, my sister likes her and my mother loves her. And I'll get in trouble not taking this dog back home. So he took her home, and then he got a male, and he ended up breeding them. And later when he told me he did it, I was very upset about it. He had a nerve to ask me that I wanted it. It was 7 in a litter. And I said, man, if you don't get that garbage out here, the hell I don't want it. He said, well, I would like to offer you one. Now I call Plop Plop and Shorty Red. This is about 8 weeks, 7, 8 weeks old. He said, these are the 2 more high-strung, crazier ones in the litter. Man, I don't want that crap. So about a year later, we was going to look at some dogs, and he brings over Flop. And I couldn't wait to show that she's a cur. So I used the dog, Crusher, which was off of Rocky, to my Dream Girl. Dream Girl was a heavy, stomping out Art Misty type bred dog to Rock, which was inbred. He was right off a Jeep. It was a Jeep to his little mate's sister, made a daughter, and then Jeep bred to that to make my male Rocky. So
nice.
Super tight. Bred that, and it was a really well-bred dog, and she was a good dog. Crusher was. I mean, even though she was just a pup, both of them were just a year old. But I seen a little something out of her like before, so I knew that she was acting pretty good. We wasn't going to be there long because it was just but I just didn't think much of what she was going to be. So when we let him go, she hit us in the chest and we got damn faint. And I said, let me get out my dog's chest. Something had happened. So she wakes up and she bites me on my arm. So we got to break her off my arm because she thinks she's still fighting the dog. So she's trying to, so we let him go again. She faints again. I said, what the hell? So we break it up. So, and at the same time, my man steady saying, man, you can take her, man, because I know what you do with this, man. It's your dogs, it's your blood. Man, I don't want, I said, I'm going to check to see what's wrong with my dog. So it was me and my son. We go back to the house and he say, Dad, is that dog biting that hard to do that? Oh, hell no. I said, let's go look at her on one of our dogs and see if she do the same. Sure enough, she kicking the hell out of one that's around her age. I said, what the hell? So my son said, I think she biting that hard, Dad, because she ain't fainting with the other one. You know what I'm saying? So I said, damn, but I don't really want to give the other one credit.
Yeah.
So, all right. A little time goes past, and I seen her roll again. And she bit a dog, and the dog out within 2 seconds of her biting the dog and jumped out the box with her attached to it. I said, God damn, this bitch is a goddamn alligator. So I said, she probably just a rough cur, I still don't want to believe she's what she's looking like she is.
Yeah.
And after that, make a long story short, the 229 boys, which is my buddy Tim, he ended up taking her out. He ended up getting it because I still had not wanted no parts of it.
Yeah.
And he ended up beating people, and then it got from Tim to who can't click brought her from Tim when he had to go a little vacation time, and then he went to them. But
shout outs to the boot camp clique.
Yes, yep. They had got her, and she had a very, very, very unique style. She was like an alligator. I mean, she scratched into your chest and do an alligator roll, and by the time she come off the bottom and stand up, the dogs are just about either ready to quit or die by the 25-minute mark.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, that was a hard biting. That was.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, she was 7 years old, almost 8, when she won her last 2 going up. And they flew out to Virgin Islands and either stopped or killed that one in 25 and came back and killed the other one in 25. Then they wanted to do her some more, but she just got so old. And when it bred her, she had some puppies off of their champion, and Katrina, she died.
Oh, man.
They had on the second floor, and the water came above the second floor and drowned her and the puppies.
Oh, man. I know that had to piss you off.
Yeah. I mean, because I ended up having to respect her afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
Right.
Well, Bakari, I see you've always kind of been heavy into the Carver dogs. And not just any Carver dogs. You must have got them from the right people, because from what I can tell, some of your stock looked like it came straight off of Carver's yard. I guess right. I want to know what drew you to that bloodline. And
when I got into the dog game, like I said, I got Stump, which was Tyrone's sister. He ended up putting Tyrone, who I didn't know who that was, against, it's about like, we're going to look at about like the 15 rows. That's how many people are there. And when we go in there, we scratch, and Tyrone scratches past us. He scratched so hard. He passed us, but we grabbed his paw as he passed us and made him make a little holler. And when he catches back up to us, he goes right in our mouth and pull a whole left side of the gums and all out was a minute. That left hanger with about 4 or 5 other teeth attached with the gum is laying in the goddamn pit. You're like, what the hell? then he tore the tendons out of our front shoulder leg area. And we trying to get our head. Then he went back to our back end and bit on our penis area and then the stifle real bad. And came back to the other shoulder area and pulled the other tendons out. And at that point, it looked like we was in a 2-hour fight with 2 dogs. I said, so this is 6 minutes. We pick up. We get a scratch. And so as we get out the pit, I had like $2,500 in my pocket. So I tried to give him like, $1,000, $1,500 for it. And I said, hey, man, I'll buy that dog. He said, no. I said, man, nope. So I said, I tried to give him the whole $2,500 or whatever. He said, nope. I'm like, well, I'll pay you 5 or 10, whatever. But I ain't seen nothing like him. And he said, remember you was here about a year ago and you said you wouldn't pay $5 for a dog? I said, that's Tyrone? He said, yep. I said, oh, well, basically, I didn't mean what I said. You know what I mean? Like, forget that. And he went, so anyway, he told other people to come. It was next. They put their dog in there and got messed up in about 4 minutes, curved out. Put another dog in there, went about 5-6 minutes, curved out. The other guys didn't want to put nothing on Tyrone. Dang. But to make a long story short, Parker did end up allowing me to get Tyrone, and that's how I got it.
Wow. Well, there's another dog that gained a lot of attention, Rick Rude. Well, but I also heard, that there was a situation involving Pat Patrick and that dog. And I wanted to know what was your relationship with Pat and like what exactly happened with Rick Rude.
Well, I put it like this. I was spending $1,600 a damn month talking to Pat Patrick. That's how much it cost back then to make the long distance phone call from Virginia to Arizona. And me and Pat talked all the time, man. And he allowed me to get Rick Rude. It was I had the choice between him and Caesar. That was the 2 good ones he liked in that litter, and told me that. I got Rick Rude, and like I said, I got him at 8 weeks old. And like I've told the story before, I got him, went to Delta Dash, picked him up. He ran right out the damn crate and started attacking me. Grabbed my sweatpants and shaking the hell out of it. I said, wait a minute, he damn near bite my leg. So I go to grab him, he trying to bite me. I slung him back in the crate, take him home, and I forgot I had the dog off of Baby Ruth, the Malcolm I told you I bred after show she won Best in Show, and had him in there 10 weeks. So, yeah. Okay, so I heard all this screaming. So I run in the house. God damn it, he done got Malcolm's whole side of his face.
Yeah, but I was like, is this an 8-week puppy that's doing all this?
An 8-week-old puppy, and I'm talking about I go grab his ass off of him. He's trying to bite me, screaming to hit his ass. So I throw him in that same goddamn creek, and I go kick him as I'm grabbing the other one. He done curved all the way out. He's not that he ever started. So when I say he curved out, he was a puppy. But you know what I'm saying? He just snapping and trying to bite me. The other puppy, Malcolm that he bit on. So when we finally get him, I said, man, I'm giving him to somebody. So I threw him in the car and gave him away to a buddy. And come back, and I called Pat. I said, God damn, boy, you wasn't bullshit. You sent me a goddamn live wire. He said, oh, I told you I like him. So I'm going to fast forward. Like I said, me and Pat were cool as hell and everything. And so after I done one Best in Show with Rick Rude and everything, and me and Pat made a deal that I send Rick back. I can always breed to him for free. And he was sending me 2 dogs in replace of Rick. So I ended up getting Crusher, who was a one-time winner, and another dog. Crusher was off in Overgrass. Two Cheryl Teagues, the same mother as Rick Root.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I go to send a female that Patrick also bred off a Thompson Island girl named Shock Treatment. I breed her to Rick. He sends her back. When I get her back, Patrick says, "Yeah, Bach, I really love that breed, and I wouldn't mind having one out of there." I said, "Oh, Pat, it's no problem." I said, "I don't mind sending you one back out of there, brother." So he said, "Oh man, I'm going to tell you something. I just need a breed. You're going to love it." I said, "What is it?" He was telling me. I said, "Oh, I wouldn't mind getting one out of there." Then he says, "Man, you don't tell me what you want." I was like, "Who the hell are you talking to?" He said, "If I want to give you one, I can give you one." And I said, "Did you just say you want one off of my dog?" I said the same thing. I said, "I tell you what, man, F you. You ain't getting nothing, and you can keep what you got." And that's how we fell out from there.
Oh man. Oh man. Man, that had to suck, man. You know.
Yeah, that was the most ridiculous thing I ever seen. Yep. So that's where that went.
Okay. Well, on just some light now. Like, what do you do, Bakari, when you're not messing with the dogs?
Still messing with the dogs. I mean, I'm still into the pairs and still breed.
Yes.
I breed them up, again, not with nothing. I mean, nothing illegal.
I know that.
But I still, like I said, want to make sure they still have the same characteristics of prey drive, smartness, mouth, prey, the whole thing. But like I said, just used to hunt, just channel that biting stuff into coyotes, wild boars, and coon.
Right. But like, what do you do when you're not dealing with the dogs? You got some other hobbies that you get into?
Yeah, ladies and chess.
Ladies and chess.
Yes, ladies and chess. That's always been my hobby.
Nice.
Yep, I love playing chess. I played chess all since I was in grade school. Was a captain in high school in chess. Was the captain in college in chess. And been playing chess since I was 12, and I'm be 61 here in a few days.
Oh, nice, man. Well, shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could say happy early birthday. Actually, it's my birthday today.
Oh man, happy birthday to you, my dear brother.
Thank you. Well, how do you balance your time out? You with the dogs and your personal time. How do you balance that out?
Same way, man. There's nothing to balance. They one of the same. You know what I'm saying? There's no balancing. It's not like they're added weight. They like family. I look at them more family than the blood related family I got.
I could dig that. I understand that totally.
So if anything, I gotta make preparation for family.
Yes.
Outside my dog. Those are the ones I gotta figure out how to handle certain things. But when it's dogs, that's
well, here comes that part of the show I call Quickfire questions. They're just where I kind of ask you A or B, and you just make a choice between them.
Okay.
All right. So, treadmill or carpet mill? Oh, okay.
You can't. I mean, one's for strength and one's for endurance. Yeah, I mean, I need a both.
I can dig that. Collar or harness?
I need them both, depending on what the harness is. I need the harness if I'm pulling. If they pulling, but I need the collar to make sure they secure to where I got them attached to.
That's right. All right. So here's that one that I love to ask you. Mouth or game?
And I'm gonna get shitted for it because they say, well, you know the name of the game is gameless. Well, you can be that. You could have been that one real game one, but you know when you get beat by that hard mouth. Now I ain't talking about mouth and having a rough ass curve.
Yeah.
And if you talking about if we talking about having a rough hard mouth rank curve versus a game dog with no mouth, give me the game dog with no mouth.
I can dig that. But I'm going to guess that you mean mouth.
That's what I meant.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
So kibble or raw?
Raw.
Raw. I'm with it. How about a chain or a kennel run?
Certain ones I can do the channel runs. Certain ones that's like breakout artists and things of that nature. I need that good chain on.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess that's both.
It's gonna be both.
All right. Tug of war or fetch?
Damn, you know I doing both because the tug of war is like a resistance training, which is for strength, and the fetch is for endurance. But I probably do more tug of war, so I'll go with tug of war.
All right. How about road work or hiking?
Well, my fat ass wasn't doing neither one of them, so I was paying somebody to do the road work for me at all times. So no, the road work wasn't nobody going hiking. It's road work.
I can dig it. So Bakari, what legacy do you and Only in America Kennels hope to leave on the APBT community?
Just being solid and honest with it, man. You know what I'm saying? Just being a person that's fair. I mean, most people that deal, you're always gonna have a few haters, you'll have a few nemesis and things of that nature. But for the most part, if anybody had a problem with me, most likely it's something they did to me first, and then of course, I'll respond. But for the most part, brother, I like no confusion, no confrontations, no contention. I like people happy, even those I don't really know or people that I heard of. I just always want somebody being successful. You know what I'm saying? But the people that truly know me, not somebody heard about me or heard of me or heard, then it depends who you heard of me from, is always going to be somebody going to say, man, F Bach, man, I don't like him. And there's going to be others, man, I love the hell out of Bach, man. He's a good man. So, it's always going to be that. So I'm not so much worried about leaving a legacy behind more than the people that I've came across that we done business with say that I done them fairly.
Right. Well, okay, so if there was one myth about the American Pit Bull Terrier that you could debunk right now on the show, what's one myth that you would dispel?
that they're not mean, wild savages. Because we have pit bulls. Matter of fact, a lot of the ones I breed, they can be in a house with several other dogs and won't attack them.
Right.
Matter of fact, love the dogs, are damn to defend them. But at the same time, if they were out there and there's a thing, they turn right into goddamn Mighty Mouse and within seconds to protect the family. You know what I mean? So a lot of people think when they see some of these stupid people who should never have dogs, shouldn't call them stupid, but it's ignorant for a person to grab a dog, don't know how to maintain them, don't know how to get the dog off in case anything happened, sticks or drive one in their car, in case not so much their dog got loose, but another dog came into their area and you want to try to break it up, and you have people getting bit and then letting these dogs bite other people because some of them train them to bite people.
Yeah.
And then they come and look like all of the pit bulls in the world are man biters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not true. We know this.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and that's probably why the reason that the pit bulls haven't been banned over the world is because too many people who know the true American Pit Bull Terriers, not like you see those few bad C's on the news. That killed somebody, mauled a child, mauled a senior citizen. That's not, for the most part, what our dogs want to do. Most of our dogs don't ever want a confrontation with a human being. You understand?
Yes.
Now, of course, the most of them are animal prey driven, but like I said, it's not to say I can't make that this dog is uninhabitable in a home with other damn animals. It's just bullshit. That's not true.
Yes.
A lot of homes, and some of the best even box dogs we ever had. Grand Champion Virgil's one of them that lived with other dogs. You know.
Right.
You know. So from what I was told, you know, so. Yeah, that's a big myth that I wish the public whole would know, that we have some beautiful family loving oriented dogs. As a matter of fact, the dogs I breed, if they're not that way, we will cull them. And I mean cull them. I mean put them down if they're showing traits of wanting to bite people and bite children or act aggressive. Now, I'm not talking about if they protecting their home and they only doing what they're supposed to do, or if they're protecting their owner, they're only doing what they're supposed to do, whether they're outside or at home. But I'm talking about just to get loose out the house and go kill somebody or maul somebody. No, we see any of that type, we put down the whole family, the whole genetic trace of that. You know?
Yes. Yes. And speaking on that, because that's something to me that makes a real dog man. But I'm going to ask you, in your opinion, what separates a dog man from someone who just owns some dogs?
Well, let's put it this way. Both dog men most likely love dogs. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Most dog people love dogs. All right?
Right.
I don't think I believe that people of anywhere has a dog and don't love them.
No.
Now, I'm sure you do. I don't know of anybody personally, and I'm not one that I love my dogs, and most people love theirs. And that's a myth, too, even with animal control and other people. Even that fault dogs, they would actually believe we don't love our dogs. And true indeed, some cruel things have went on. Things that should have never happened with these dogs have been mistreated. I agree. Even people themselves that had it have done some cruel things and say, I wouldn't do that again type shit. For the most part, we love our dogs like we love our kids, man. And that's the difference in, let's just say, the dog man that I can definitely speak on more so than just dog lover. These pit bulls to us, just like I told you when I just stated earlier, I don't look at my pit bulls as a hindrance that I can't go places because I got the dogs. That's my goddamn family.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
So I don't look at it as, man, they stopping me from doing. They not stopping me from nothing, because without them, my life ain't shit. Okay? There's no other face I like seeing other than my mother, my children, and my dog's face when I come in a room and they seem happy as hell to see me. I only get it definitely out of them. Okay? And the dogs, unlike mother and children, they gonna give me that look even when my children and mom might be mad at me about something. Them damn dogs ain't. Right. They gonna be tail wagging every goddamn time they see me. They hollering, come pet me. And that feeling you just can't get. I don't care how bad you feel that night, that morning, when you get out there and they get to wagging that tail and hollering and barking and jumping up on you, man, it's just pure joy. And that's all they live for.
Yes.
So our connection as a dog man from just a dog lover is totally different, because most of us will die behind our dog. See, it ain't people got it did the pit bulls. We just want to see if our dogs will die for us. Most of us will goddamn catch a case. You come back there messing with our goddamn dogs. Okay?
You're right.
So these dogs are looked at as family members. They're looked at as, I mean, they bring so much joy. I mean, that's why people who, you can get out the dogs. I done got out the dogs a million times. And soon as I know it, it's like the loneliness. I don't give a damn if you got a wife, a girlfriend, and you got children around you and friends around you. Man, that void is still a void there, man. Once you done got touched by them goddamn pit bulls, shit, man, you gotta get them back. That's the only way you're gonna smile again.
Yeah.
You know? Shit, I'm telling you, these are my psychologists, man. I mean, most of us has went through some traumatic shit in our lives. Most people don't know none of the personal backgrounds of none of us. But a lot of people went through a lot of traumatic shit, and especially a lot of us black folks in the inner cities. I mean, it's like shit. We all should be up under the same PS, whatever that. What's that? Post-traumatic disorder shit. We all should have that. Looking at a lot of killings, shooting, stabbings, a lot of shit goes on. Right. You see a lot of stuff. These damn dogs is like, without them, brother, you see a lot of us loony too. It's hell around here.
You are right.
Seriously.
You are so right about that, man. And the reason why they're probably good counselors for folks like that is because I say to people, the reason why they call them pit bulls is because they probably they'll climb out the pits of hell for us.
That's right. That's right. That's right, brother. With no hesitation. And that's why I don't like when I hear people say, I don't love my pit bulls until they show me they're worthy of loving. I say, wait a minute, what sense does that make? Okay, so basically you're telling me this. As you know, we talking back in the day. How the hell are you supposed to get your dog that had been in that square with you, ready to take it all the way to the goddamn no man's land, and yet you've not shown that dog loving? Right. Why should that dog come across that line when you ask it to, when you have not goddamn gave that dog no pet, no loving, not correct, good maintenance, feeding, no time to play, none of that? How that dog's senses is better than your senses. We can't smell nobody 2-3 miles. We can't detect that person who come in front of us is nervous and they got some bad intention. That dog can. The dog can smell cancer on your body and all type of stuff. So our senses, to be physical or mental, is not dealing with nowhere near the senses of that dog. So that dog can tell when you bullshitting around there about your like or love for it. Okay? Mm-hmm. And they will normally go to the person that gives it to them, because every goddamn dog basically want to be loved, just like we do. Yes, so when you show that dog 100% pure commitment to spiritual and physical love, that dog won't have no problem when they come to an adverse position, possibly in those walls, to say, when you say, hey, baby, go on now, come on. Or they look up or they get up off that ground for you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
But they're not going to do that if they don't love you. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
No, I feel you. I feel you on that, man. Bakari, you got any advice for someone who's just getting into the breed? Or
yes, just be honest about breeding the dogs for what they were meant for, even if you're not saying you're going to sell some dogs for fighting or you're going to fight these dogs. But these dogs are meant to be soldiers.
Yeah.
And understand, they are meant to be soldiers. They are not meant to be a little couch potato. You go get your little bully. These are working dogs. A lot of times, if you're not going to get these dogs to work them, don't get them, because this is not a couch potato.
Yeah.
This dog is raring to work. God damn it. So if you're not going to get out there and join a treadmill racing or run up the wall or a weight pull with them or hunt with them, legally hunting with them, then don't get these goddamn dogs. Because you need to grab something that's more in tune for what type of family you have that it needs to be for. Or if you by yourself or whatever. But this is not anything I would tell a person to get into. Definitely do no dog fighting. Not in countries where it's illegal. I would tell you don't do that first and foremost. But even without us talking about that, again, do right by breeding these dogs up correctly. Make sure you breeding good dogs, do good dogs, not just pretty pedigree, which so many people so interested in looking at a pedigree, which most of them is fake any goddamn way. Okay?
Yeah.
Because most of them has been messed over for fucking years. Excuse my language. Most of them been messed over for years. And even when you get to it, that's why when you get dogs from a person that is known and that they stand behind their dogs, and then their dogs all act certain ways so that you can tell that's what it is. You understand?
Yes.
But when you go out here just trying to buy a prepaid, and some people I done heard on Facebook, people done took their monies and they just want to see the pretty pic. My God. Don't even care about if the dog was nothing. Just to pay it, and then they want to go peddle it. Go get the paper, the pedal, the equipment, and then that's what messes up. Now there's just some fake payers on the dog, even if it was real dogs. And that dog hasn't really been checked and everything. Now you got them out there, just a bunch of garbage. And like I said, matter of fact, the mink man, he got in contact with me, a guy he was looking for, because he hunts minks. I mean, I'm sorry, he has minks, and he hunts all type of rats and raccoons and all the little stuff like that. And so pit bull, he likes a pit bull with a heavy hide. Well, one of the guys I know had a heavy hide one, but the goddamn dog couldn't even handle a damn raccoon. See?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's embarrassing. Now, this is supposed to be a game bred pit bull that's out there bull jobbing with a damn raccoon. Okay? So, if you can't do those type of things and have that nature to be able to finish it, do what they have to do out there, you don't need to be breeding those dogs. They can't do that.
That's something I want to tell my audience. You heard what he just said. You don't need to be breeding. If that dog ain't going to do what it's supposed to do, if it ain't going to catch something, I don't think you should be out there breeding the dog. If you want to use it for running or exercise, go ahead. But you don't need to breed. Right. You don't have to breed every single dog. There's an understanding in what Bakari's saying. You don't have to breed every single dog. If you want to keep the dog, that's fine. Keep it on your yard. Let it die with your family and love it and all that. But if you're going to breed the dog for what it's supposed to be for. They're working dogs. And that's what he's trying to say to you guys out there.
100%. 100%.
Bakari, before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to say to the Bulldog community, or is there any upcoming moves from Only in America Kennels that we maybe should be looking out for? Oh,
I didn't mean to touch you, but before when you you missed the question that you were trying to ask me in regards to Haymaker. You didn't ask me. So you forgot to ask me the pertinent question that you asked me earlier when you was asking me to do an interview.
Okay.
So you might want to ask me that question.
Yes, you are right. I was asking you about, I heard some things about Bobby Holland and his dogs, and I might have heard that he sold you, or you were going to buy a dog from him, and then he may have told you a story about how he attained the Haymaker dog.
Right. Yeah. So what happened was, I had purchased Rocky from Indian Sunny. Okay. Like I said, Rocky was the son of Jeep. And it was an inbred son of Jeep. And I said, well, you know what? I want to make this really, really, really high concentrated Jeep Rare Boy cross. So I called Music Kennels, talked to Bobby. I said, hey, man, I need a real good bitch to go with the son of Jeep I got. To make this Red Boy cross, Red Boy Jeep. He said, I got a bitch that I think could go well with it. He said, but I tell you what, I might got something that interests you as well. And I said, what's that? He said, well, man, hell, I had a little kennel accident. One of my puppies, they 5 months old, he went and killed his brother. I said, wow. He said, yeah, man, came in there and looked, he done killed his brother, and he's a hot one. I said, okay, well, shit, I take him too. He said, I call him Haymaker. Okay. I said, all right, well, I'm going to send you the money to Western Union, the money to get both of them. All right. So this was like in 96, matter of fact. So when I get to Dyke's place, which is a friend of mine, he had a lot of that car and silage stuff. And I was like, man, they rough, hard mouth, but they ain't got a whole lot of bottle to them. And some of the stuff you breed, man, they rough, but they ain't, they got a clock. So he said, damn, he said, well, Bob, man, why don't you let me get that dog, man? Because I could use him to be a stud dog, grow up to be my stud, and cross him out on some of these dogs, man, to put a little bottom in them. And, and I said, all right. So I let him get Haymaker, and I got Red Girl. And that's how Dykes got a Haymaker, And I went on to see Haymaker old, and he was a bad mother sucker. And he produced his ass off. Solid bulldog.
Nice. Man. That's nice, man. You know what? I'm gonna ask you a different question that I got to, man. Let me ask you, what do you feel about tight breeding, line breeding, or cross breeding? Are you are you a guy who feels like line breeding is the thing to do, or are you more like, hey man, if the dog's good, let me use that dog?
Well, who's going to line breed some bullshit first off, right?
I love it.
So if we got a coward, are we going to line breed on his punk ass?
Hell no.
Right. So why the hell are some people line breeding some shit? For a pretty pet. Oh, look at Lolly. Lolly's up and down the pedigree 15 times in the first 3-4 generations. See it? Oh, I see it. Only thing is Lolly's some shit and they ain't throwing a damn dog. Okay? So it's all about who you line breeding for. Are you line breeding just to get the pretty pair, and then you have the pretty pair buyers that's just going to buy a pretty pair line bred bullcrap? Okay?
Yep.
Okay, again, who wants to inbreed a coward?
Nobody.
Okay, so why the hell would anybody want to inbreed or line breed something that is not productive to even you feeding in the goddamn yard?
I take that back. There is some people out there, I believe, that are actually doing that.
No, I'm sure of it, but I'm just trying to say to you that this is the question that I would ask. Since you asked that, Why would anybody want to take a dog and breed on it, and it doesn't have any, even if the traits were mouth, at least if you say, okay, well, I bred for this mouth. I don't know how deep his game is, but I love the mouth. Okay, I got you. Well, I bred for this because this is a game-ass dog. I got you. I bred for this dog. It ain't got that much mouth. I don't know how game is seen to be pretty, but it's a good style. I got you. And the mamas and the daddies, I got you. That makes sense. But when you just went and brought a dog, this is 56 times off of elbow juice, and I'm about to line breed on elbow. And who the hell is elbow juice? Can't even tell me who the hell elbow juice was. That's a fictitious name I made up, by the way.
I know.
And so you learn a lot about the dog before when you just talk to the person. And automatically, if you were really looking to buy a dog for a certain type of bloodline and the person is selling the dog don't know shit about it, why would you even want it?
I agree.
That's like you ask a man come to you and say, hey, I want to marry your daughter. Now, I met her on the internet. We done went out for a year, but I don't really know her past that. And before I pop this question to Mary, sir, can you just truly tell me about your daughter? Because that's the damn sure what I did. Still didn't help much, but God damn it, but I still asked. You understand?
Yeah.
So you need to go try to check what it is you have, or what it is you. And again, don't get a dog from a person that's known to bull crap somebody.
Yeah.
Don't get with a person you don't know. When you getting these dogs, because it's expensive. This is an expensive hobby.
Yes, it is.
Feed went up, medicines went up, so this is not no room to just go taking where you could have then saved all your money for a rainy day later in life and been sitting on a fortune. You didn't spend it with your dogs you love, and you around there spending it on Scooby-Doos.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So to answer the question, to inbreed, to line breed, all should have a purpose. It shouldn't be with the purpose of just putting together a set. So I'm going to just keep this Jeep line tight. If you keeping that Jeep line tight, or Tyrone line tight, or Virgil line tight, if you're not having the dogs that you're keeping it tight with, they have shown themselves to be what they're supposed to be, then all thing you did has been inbreeding and line breeding on a damn line that ain't been checked since goddamn the early 1900s. It seemed like that's how long ago it seemed like one of them had done something to show their worthiness of having any prey drive. None of them hog hunting or nothing.
So off of that, would you rather have a scatterbred dog that was
fact?
Okay.
Fact. Before you even finish it, a scatterbred dog that has more hookup of proven dogs in it versus one, you goddamn right. You damn right.
I know that. I already knew that. I already knew you would say that. I just had to ask that for my listeners out there, because it's something that some guys won't admit to, or they're really strong about their family of dogs. So I just wanted to get that from you.
Oh no, you right. I mean, a lot of things in the dogs and just in life, just as some people like to be irrational due to sentimental value or bias, tunnel blindness. You understand?
Yes,
so,
sir.
A person said, a certain person said to me, like, damn, Bach, I see you have the champion, Tyrone, champion, Katrina stuff. And I'm like I said, I can't take all the credit for that, because without people like Cold Eye, A.K.A. Hunter, even though I don't see eye to eye with Foundation Kennels, but I still can't deny his involvement in keeping the Tyrone Katrina line like he has. So, like I said, I've gotten out a dog several times, but those two primarily, along with B Savage, kept that Tyrone Katrina line together and bred the right way.
Right.
You understand?
Yes,
and so it was easy for me at any time to just get my blood back from those guys and some of the stuff that I had, that I was still breeding up with some of my buddies that I was just letting them tell them how to breed it. I was able to still have it intact that way. And this as others have as well. So it's important that even when you have this bloodline that you're trying to keep, that the people along with you are doing it the right way. So when you're preserving it, you still capturing all of the good traits that you love that made those dogs who they were, and then made it to where you want to keep those traits to try to have that same line to the dogs, whether it be now or 50 years from now. That should be the only reason that you're inbreeding on this stuff. And line breeding is because those dogs that you're doing it from were bulldogs in every aspect. If they weren't, and they held any type of real bad traits of any, meaning like stuff that you need to really improve on, then and do it. But even with that, I still don't believe no dogs can't be improved upon. So even with those heavy inbreeds and line breeds, it's important to always go out and get with a fellow dog man that breeds a certain way, so that when you cross out, you have not lost your traits and taken on the traits that you went to go add to it. And the traits you add to it should always be better almost than the need of what it is than what you're using. Other than that, there's no reason to go outside.
Right. Thank you, Bakari. I feel like that was some real game right there for my audience.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. I appreciate you having me here, man. I appreciate it, and the audience that hear it, I hope they enjoy it. Like I said, these dogs, we love them, man, and we love the bulldog community, and we love our fellow dog men and women. You're saying, and I just like for most of us, man, to all be in harmony, man, and just have a lot of love for one another. You know what I mean?
True that.
In the world we live in, is with so much division and hate, man, we just want to, we want to have nothing but love between us. I don't give a damn what religion you have, what ethnicity you are. When we love our bulldogs, we supposed to be one goddamn family.
Yes, bulldog fraternity.
We got enough.
Bulldog fraternity.
That's it. That's it, brother. Like I said, you got enough law enforcement, everybody, and PETAs and everybody to try to make us, that have these pit bulls look like savages. Whether you fighting them or not fighting them, they see us all the same.
Mm-hmm.
So why would we want to have so much in-house fighting when we got enough to deal with on the people that hate us, dislike us, and portray us as savages when we're not?
Yeah.
So that's the least thing we can do is show them that's what we are to one another.
Yes, sir. I want to tell my audience, if you want to know a little bit about Bakari and and learn some things about the dogs, you definitely should get on the 7-8 Sports Game Dog Talk Patreon. I do want to tell them that. I also want to what'd you say?
I said I appreciate that, brother.
Yes, and I also just want to ask you though, is there anything that you'd like to tell anybody, just other than the questions that I asked, or any upcoming moves from Only in America Kennels that people should be looking out for?
Well, let me say this. There are people that contact me a lot for the different dogs and things. And for the most part, like I said, I still have most of the blood. And of course, I use certain crosses. I don't want anybody contacting me talking about any type of dog fighting when they contact me. I don't want them trying to ask me if dogs I got gonna kill you, gonna bite you down. You understand? Those questions are ridiculous. Yeah. If you are a fancier of the dogs or certain dogs, you like the Tyrone, Katrina stuff that I've been having for years, or some of the Rick Rude stuff I use, or certain different dogs you like that I have, and you say I want something, that should be knowing, getting it from me alone should be it. And like I said, if they don't turn out to be great family dogs and they have distemper issues, then I'll take it back and give you something else. But come to me respect. Don't come to me BSing. If you asking me about a puppy and you don't have no money, don't call me. Don't have me wasting my time.
No tire kickers.
Yeah, so if I got a litter and I might let 2 go out of it, 3 depending if it's a lot. If you're not serious about it, don't come contacting me about no goddamn dogs and about wanting me to sit on the phone with you all day trying to tell you about pedigrees and asking to say, I'm not for all that. If you know what you want a dog from me, a good dog, a good, well-rounded dog, a dog that has good conformation, good good behavior, this, healthy, then brother, just like you said, come see us on Patreon or something and come to the shows, but not just me. This go for anybody that has dogs. Nobody has time for people coming tire kicker. That's the worst. And people wanting to kind of talk some damn dog fighting or see if the dogs they got coming off of dogs killing. You know what I mean? So that's something I would like to mention. That's not just for me, but for period anybody.
Yes, sir.
Going to anybody for dogs.
I understand that. Well,
Yep.
well, Bakari, I really appreciate you coming on this show, man. There's a thing they say, give somebody their flowers. On my show, we call it, on Beer N Bulldogs, we call it, give a dog a bone. And I just want to thank you, man, for, everything that you do, man, how you help people with information, how to condition, nutrition. There's so many things that I could say. I just want to thank you, though, right, man, and give you
man, I appreciate it, man. And again, I'm happy that you invited me here, and this was a real fun interview too. By the way, I enjoyed it. I really did.
Thank you, and I'm honored. So.
I don't drink beer, but the next time, have me a little pineapple juice or orange juice sitting up there with you, so you can have a drink for me of it.
I will do that. Yeah, because we'll have to do a part 2 sometime.
Anytime, brother. Anytime, man. Just let me know.
Okay. Well, I don't really have an outro, but I just tell them from Beer N Bulldogs till next time. Cheers.